All right, Jazz. What do you got?
According to the latest, the comm spike is being developed at UC Star Station SY-920. Location undisclosed.
Fantastic. So how do we disclose it?
We could lean on your smuggling contact. Call in that favor. You know who I mean.
Our friend on Jimson. Nice one, Jazz. I'll make the arrangements. All right, Rook. Next stop, New Atlantis. Your connection is Juan Dayu. She's got most of the premium UC smuggling routes locked down tight. If you don't piss her off, she should be able to sneak you past SY-920's security.
Just remember to count your fingers after you shake hands with her.
Definitely. We're talking cargo depots, star yards, research stations, and, like in SY-920's case, military outposts. I've never seen someone new to the game have so many contacts. It's the reason we let her join up in the first place. I don't know how she accomplished that. We've been trying to crack some of those places for years. You're in the fleet. You should always expect trouble. As far as Juan goes, even though she's one of our newer contacts, you shouldn't have any problems dealing with her. I sure hope so, because she might be our only crack at finding a decent decryption device. Once Juan gets you past the guard dogs, it's gonna be on you to locate the comm spike. According to the data we have, it's in the prototype phase, meaning there should only be a single device aboard the station.
Basically, you break it, you bought it. We paid good money for the information, so I'm sure it works. And if it doesn't, a certain source at Mast is going to have to deal with a very pissed off Neva. And that would be the end of that. You just bring the tech here, I'll do the rest.
Oh, and one more thing. SY-920 is a UC military installation. That means it's guarded by heavily armed troops. And we both know those idiots don't mess around. If you intend to turn the place into a shooting gallery, you might want to be sure you're hauling an arsenal, because you're gonna need it. She's got the clout to get you in the front door. They're gonna think you're part of a regular supply delivery. Beyond that, you and Juan are gonna have to put your heads together and come up with a plan. Perfect. That's what I like to hear. Okay, so I'm gonna arrange a meeting with Juan at Kay's place in the well. In the meantime, I'll make sure Jazz comes up with a solution to the electromagnetic atmosphere problem at Bannock 4.
Oh, okay. You'll make sure. More like, get drunk while Jazz does all the hard work. Typical.
Privileges of rank, my darling. We'll discuss it a little later. And you, get the hell out of here. And don't come back without that comm spike in your cargo bay. I'm gonna leave that up to you, Rook. If you get into deep trouble, and you think bringing her into the fold is gonna make the difference, tell her whatever you want. At some point, Delgado's gonna be promising everyone their cut of Crix's legacy. If we want him to stick with the fleet, it's inevitable. But until the money's within reach, the less people that know, the better. The Crimson Fleet made contact with her about a year ago. We were searching for a smuggling connection in UC space, and her name kept popping up repeatedly, so I decided to put her to the test. Not only did she pass, but the results were off the charts. Made us both a ton of credits. That was good enough for me. Beyond that, I don't know much about her. But hey, as long as she keeps my gal bank account humming, she can keep all the secrets she wants.
What if we took the kids to your brother's place?
My
take it you're Neva's new recruit?
There's also my brother, but I wouldn't...
Don't we all? Let's try not to be each other's wrenches. SY-920 is one of my regular stops, so I already have the necessary approvals. Neva says you're after a piece of UC tech. So to get it, we're going to need to get you on board. I can do that, but I have conditions. Good. If I can be candid, for this job to work, we'll have to do this my way. We take my ship, and you're a member of my crew. But make no mistake, once you board, the risk is entirely yours. This route is highly lucrative, and sacrificing it is not an option. It's not personal. If you're caught, that entire installation will be on you. There's nothing I can do for you at that point, except send flowers to your next of kin. Sorry, but I work with professionals only. If you're going to start a fight, you're on your own. In any case, when you're ready, meet me at my ship. It's the Jade Swan. And make sure you're prepared for the long haul. Once you're on board SY-920, you can't come and go as you please.
They've got an appointment at Enhanced tomorrow. It's such an...
I'd like to, but I need to keep a low profile. In my experience, the more people know about you, the more they have over you.
I promise myself I'm not gonna cry.
Exactly. You make yourself vulnerable. You become prey. Emotionally, physically, doesn't matter. Delgado may think otherwise, but I found in this business, fortune favors the cautious, not the bold. Anyways, I appreciate the small talk. Delgado's crew aren't usually so chatty. But let's keep our focus on the mission. We can swap bar stories and share scars when we've got enough creds to buy the bar and fix the scars.
Tell them how I feel.
Enough to be on a first-name basis with the Marines working the comms. It also helps they want us to dock. The cargo ship means supplies, special requests, slates from home. In the void of space, a cargo hauler is a soldier's best friend. Only what I've been told. Get you on the SY-920, get you out if I can. That being said, I can be a better guide if I know what it is we're after. So, it's up to you. Fine by me. If this goes bad, the less I know, the better. And if I do get caught, there'll be nothing to confess to.
Always looking for the next mark.
Hey,
All right, a few things to note. When we get to the checkpoint, UC military will be hailing us. Let me do the talking. Pretend you're a piece of cargo if you have to. Good. Say nothing and let their minds fill in the gaps. Now, like I said before, once we take off, there's no turning back until this job is done. If you need to take care of anything before we leave, do it. If you want to ask me any other questions, go for it. All right, then get comfortable.
Glad you're in the
We
fleet.
leave for
If you
SY-920
weren't,
immediately.
I would have killed you already.
All crew prepare for takeoff. Routing power to engine and grav drive. All systems go.
We'll grav jump the SY-920 from here. Don't worry about your personal ship. The fleet will make sure it's secure. You can take this time to prepare. Just try not to bother my pilot while they're flying.
Don't worry, Captain. I've spent half my life walking and chewing gum at the same time. I can handle a little banter.
Sounds like you're putting in a request for double duty.
Captain, I retract my earlier statement. For the record, I don't even like gum.
Noted. Just get us there safe. 1793A, requesting permission to dock. Looks like we're clear. We'll talk more once we're docked.
Yes?
Okay, we're in. First things first. The station is enormous, with checkpoints everywhere. To get past them, you'll need a military uniform. And to get a uniform, you'll need to get to the barracks. There should be a way through the vents. You can get to them via the maintenance store downstairs. There's an intercom there as well, where we can make contact. Once you get a uniform, it should be fairly easy to find an elevator to the command bay. But if at any point your cover's blown, I'm gone. This is a star station, so there are plenty of ventilation ducts you can slither into. As far as tactics go, it's an oldie, but goodie. Only military personnel are allowed out of the cargo area. That's why we need to get you to the barracks to find you a uniform. Very funny. But if you do get into trouble, try and use that quick wit to your advantage. Either way, for now, get on that station and find that intercom. We'll talk more then.
You with the Jade Swan? Loading and unloading only. Stay clear of the military barracks.
This is Captain Huan Daiyu. And you found the intercom. That's the start. If I'm not mistaken, the maintenance door should be in front of you. If you can find a way to open it, it'll get you past the first checkpoint. Try eavesdropping on a few soldiers. Maybe one of them will mention a key. I'm not worried. I'm sure you'll figure it out. Anyway, the door will let you access the vents. Go up the vents and to the barracks. You should find a uniform there. The uniform should get you through the checkpoint and to the elevators. We'll talk again once you get to the command bay.
found a uniform, be sure to put it on. That'll provide some cover. Don't know what you're after, but I'm guessing there'll be another checkpoint. This far down, you might need a clearance code. I don't like deliberately drawing attention to yourself, but a disguise is never a bad idea. The uniform won't be enough though. You'll need to find a computer with the code. Try the security office. They likely have a computer there that has what you need. Going dark for now. We'll talk again once you've located your target.
Need your clearance code, Marine. All right, Ensign, let's hear it. You're clear, Ensign Zaremi. Yu here. Goggles almost unloaded. We'll be departing shortly. You are, and I've delivered you just as Delgado asked. That being said, I can stay in orbit for a short while. I'll need to send word to Delgado anyway, if you don't get off that station. But it looks like you'll need to find your own way off the ship. That doesn't mean you're trapped. On a station this big, there are bound to be other vessels you can steal. As a member of the Crimson Fleet, I trust you can handle that. First lesson in being a rookie. You share the loot, but not the risk. Good luck. If you make it out alive, next time you're at the Nova, I'll buy you a drink.
Intercepting transponder data in the Alpha system might be promising. Wait, who are you? Why are you in here? Did you not see the sign? Oh yes. I've been studying decryption of all types for quite a long time. Probably since before you took your first crab jump. Signal protocol, quantum ratchet symmetry, interleaving data extrapolation. You name it, I've lectured on it. I've probably forgotten half of it, but I definitely knew it once. Don't you mean access to the ship? Because the comm spike isn't a device, it's a module. It's attached to a prototype in one of our docking ports. We're still in the testing phase, running decryptions across a variety of signal types, but the results so far have been very promising. It can even interpolate signal data lost in the retrieval. It really is a wondrous technology. Yes, it's not quite cracking the Enigma code, but it will give us a significant tactical advantage. We'll be able to infer everything from battle plans to meal consumption. Not that we'd care about that sort of thing, outside of the effects of diet on combat readiness. And yes, there are certain kinks to be worked out, missing parts and the occasional traumatic injury here and there, but it's all part of the adventure. Yes, it's not the destination, but the journey that matters, particularly when the destination is death. But don't worry. We've corrected the problem with the ship's life support systems, and statistical models show a failure rate of less than 2%. In short, I've requested a full squadron of these brave and fearless Marines to be transferred to the station. They'll give the prototype a final run, and provided there are minimal casualties, we can present our findings to Mast. Splendid. That was fast. I thought I put in the request this morning. Normally my requests aren't given this much attention, let alone haste. It seems a tad suspicious. Really? And then maybe all of my pestering has finally paid off. I see. It would have been nice if they kept me in the loop. I am the project lead, after all. All right, you've convinced me. You're the new test pilot. You'll need a uniform and a terminal password to authorize a flight and get past Nataro's cumbersome checkpoints. The uniform you can get in the locker room area, the password you get from me. You'll find the prototype ship at Docking Bay 8. Use the password to access the flight terminals in the control center. And of course, best of luck. You are doing science a great service by undertaking this sacrifice.
Prototype ship, you are not cleared for takeoff. What's going on over there?
Unauthorized launch from engineering. All ships, secure the prototype.
Engaging Tango.
Nice to know Neva was right about you. It's good to have a promising rookie with the fleet. Surprise? Neva talks tough, and frankly, she is tough. But she's not a machine. I won't deny I helped. Let's hope the compensation reflects that, huh? Anyway, I believe I owe you a drink. It's the last time I'm paying, of course. Because if Delgado's right about Crix's legacy, you've earned more than your fair share already with that comm spike. Yeah, although I get why you didn't give me the details. If I had known this was about the legacy, I might have asked for a bigger cut. Sounds like you're on board as a true believer. I have to admit, the way things are going, I'm starting to believe myself. Anyway, I've kept you long enough. Now that you've had your drink and my debt is paid, it's time for you to give Delgado the good news.
Jasmine tells me that you not only brought us the ComSpike, but an entire prototype UC ship. I'm impressed, Rook. Very impressed.
Should have taken the compliment, Rook. Dale doesn't give those out often. Juan gave us the full rundown of your little smash and grab operation. She gave you some really high praise. Said you were a pro.
And from what I hear, receiving praise from Juan Dayu is quite an accomplishment. All in all, a job well done. Now, on to the business at hand. Jasmine, are you there?
Yep, I'm here, boss. What's up?
How's it going?
I already have 2 of my crew tearing the ship apart from one end to the other. ComSpike shouldn't be too tough to extract. I'm looking forward to seeing what those UC techs have been up to.
Keep me posted. All right. That leaves our electromagnetic atmosphere problem. And I think we've discovered a solution. There's a corporation in the city of Neon called Generdyne. They're responsible for the massive conduction grid that powers the city. We get our hands on their electrical absorption tech, and Jasmine swears she can tame it to handle Bannock 4. It's the giant shroud that covers the entire city. Big, ugly thing that Generdyne uses to absorb lightning strikes. When you arrive in Neon, I'm sure your contact will fill you in with all the boring details.
You damn right she can. My girl can piece together a jump engine with her eyes shut. Literally, I've seen her do it. Lost good money on that bet.
All right, let's not get carried away, neighbor. Now, why don't you give us the info on our Neon contact?
You get to meet up with the lovely Estelle Vincent. She's had her deft little fingers on the pulse of Neon for some time now. Whatever info you need, I guarantee she can get.
Estelle is one of the most reliable captains we have in the fleet. If I want something done, there's none of the typical bullshit. It gets done, and afterward, we all split the cash. Don't worry. When Crixus' legacy is aboard the Key, we'll be splitting plenty of cash. Until then, I want you to do everything Estelle asks. Follow her instructions to a letter. She is valuable to the fleet. You piss her off and we lose her as a contact, you're going to be answering to me.
Estelle will be waiting at Madame Sauvage's place. I'd say don't keep her waiting, but chances are she won't mind. Girl loves her liquor.
And keep your eyes on the prize. Neon's one big distraction for people like us, so I want you focused. We are one step away from Crixus' legacy, and we cannot afford any screw-ups.
To one of the officers. You got mob duty now, my birthday.
Anything new to report?
Do you have anything to report? It seems you had quite the eventful mission on your hands. You still have the Crimson Fleet's trust, and you were able to spare lives in the process. As you've probably guessed, not very well. Keeping Mast out of the loop regarding this particular mission has proven exceptionally difficult. But we've managed to keep your involvement in the dark. Sparing the lives of the soldiers on SY-920 has definitely made our position with the top brass much easier. And on behalf of the United Colonies and Commander Natara, I thank you.
Excuse me, sir. I hate to interrupt, but there's still the matter of the ComSpike to discuss.
Yes, of course, Lieutenant. Time is short, and we should get to the matter at hand. Please give me your report. That all depends on what you brought back from your mission. Aside from your eyewitness testimony, I assume you have the usual evidence that could lead to her incarceration?
I can take it off your hands once we complete your debriefing, but at the moment, I'm far more concerned about the ComSpike.
then it's just a matter of time before she reverse engineers it to fit the fleet's purposes. So what does Delgado have you doing next? Has he solved the Bannock 4 problem? The conduction grid?
That's brilliant, but is it actually possible? It's 80-year-old tech. Sorry, sir. The conduction grid is how Neon generates its power. It essentially absorbs lightning strikes and converts it to usable energy. It would take a hell of an engineer to modify the technology to handle Bannock 4's EM field. An engineer, like Jasmine Durand.
If that's the case, inform our contacts on Neon that our operative will be touching down there in the near future.
Absolutely, sir.
And before you depart, I wanted you to know that your efforts are helping us gain interest among my superiors. They're finally beginning to believe that we can take down the Crimson Fleet and make amends for the UC's embarrassing mistake. The fact that our common enemy owes its existence to the United Colonies, of course. It was the riot at the Lock, touched off by Jasper Creeks, that inspired him to create the Crimson Fleet in the first place.
Thanks to your assistance, we'll be able to rectify that mistake, and MAST will authorize an all-out assault.
Of course I am, but it's a calculated risk. I'll see what I can do. You've certainly gone above and beyond the call of duty. All right, I suppose that's all for now. I'll be looking forward to your next report. Good luck. And please, be careful.
Remember to turn in any evidence fragments you find. You're not gonna let this go, are you? Why do you care so much about my past? Because the things you're asking are private, and we're supposed to be maintaining a professional rapport, not making friends. I suppose that's fair, though I'm not sure you're gonna like what you find out. Would it shock you to learn that I spent some time in prison? I suppose that makes me a hypocrite. That's fair. Well, okay. Where do I start? I grew up in the Well in New Atlantis. Parents made barely enough money to keep the lights on in our apartment. After I dropped out of school, they begged for me to look for work. But I realized it was a lot easier to simply take whatever I wanted instead. A year after that, I'm a career criminal with UC security breathing down my neck, and my parents kicking me out of the house. Would make a hell of a motion picture. I was having the time of my life, earning way more than I needed to simply get by and loving every minute of it. Back then, if you would have told me one day I'd be wearing this uniform, I'd have said you were out of your mind. Very funny. And not even relatively close. Let's just say the years after my time in the Well were filled with highs and lows. Look, the point is that I felt you deserved to know a bit about my past. To know where my anger towards the fleet comes from. Longer than you can possibly imagine. Well, I think you've had enough for now. You get the point. Let's get back to it before Keyboy writes us a citation for loitering.